B-Team, we're back, and we have a reoccurring guest. My dad's friend, our friend, Fireman Ed. Come on. Come on. Fireman Ed, let's
Let's
get right
go.
to it, man. It's
Let's
good to have you
go.
back.
Let's go.
Uh-huh. So how are you feeling right now with everything that's going on? How are you, your hopes are they got to be up here like every other Jets fan.
What's not to be excited about? I
Yeah.
mean, first off, like I just said to your dad, um, we all were just waiting with anticipation after he talked on the Pat McAfee show that he wanted to play for the Jets. When it actually became official, which was almost like 40 days.
Yeah.
What I always say to every podcast and everybody that I talk to, just remember the journey started April 24th, 2023 at approximately 4:38 in the afternoon is when the journey started for the New
Uh-huh.
York Football Jet fans because Aaron Rodgers was officially a Jet at that particular time, give or take a few minutes, but I like to say it as 4:38, if you know what I mean. And I think the journey is going to be ultimately it's going to come to. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I honestly believe that. I think we're going to win the Super Bowl. I hope it happens this year, but I think that Aaron's going to be here for. I think he's going to be here minimum 3 years. Minimum.
Minimum three?
I think minimum 3 years. I think he's committed. He's not going to say it, but just listening to some guys that I know, he's really liking what he sees and what's going on, and he likes our young youth, and I think that 3 years is probably what he'll wind up doing because all these guys will be signed for 3 years. Like the main guys are all going to be like all these young guys. They're not getting new contracts for 3 years. So you're going to have Brees, you're going to have Garrett, you're going to have Sauce, you're going to have Jermaine, you're going to have these guys. They're going to be here for at least 3 years. So um, and that's why he's we're not hearing it, but he's going to renegotiate his contract. They're in the midst of that
Yeah.
because they're looking to he's looking to make it team friendly so they can sign more guys.
What
So
about
he's going to be
Quinnen? Well, what about Quinnen now? Because we're seeing
that's
apparently his
all.
Twitter. I
That's all.
think they're going
Just
to sign him. I just
listen.
think it's too early.
It's all bullshit. It's May, and this is all part of the negotiation. You're going to have his agent. Quinnen's going to say, "Who am I playing for?" I mean, this is all, and God bless him. He should do it, and
Deserves it.
and the Jets are doing what they got to do, and you know, we'll never know what goes on behind the scenes. But ultimately, I think when it's all said and done, Quinnen will get a 4-year deal for $100 million. He'll get $25 million a year. He'll guarantee himself $60 or $70 million, and we let's face it, Quinnen Williams is a tremendous character. Uh, he's a wonderful player. He does everything right. Everything that you could want from a player, Quinnen gives you. So
Yep.
the Jets know that, and they're going to compensate him. But this is all part of negotiations. If they can get $30 million from the Jets, they're going to do it.
Mhm.
But the Jets aren't going to give him $30 million. So
He's
this is the game right
he's
now.
been in the dumps for so long. I mean, he's been there since Mike McCagnon and Adam Gase. I mean, that
Yes,
was rock bottom for us. I mean, for
yes,
at least us. Like I know
yes,
Idzik back in the day, but Quinnen
yes.
deserves every penny, hundred
And he
percent.
will, and he'll get it. And that's to me, that's a non-entity. I don't even talk about it because I know it's going to happen. So I'm not worried about it. It's all clicks for the media. They need to get clicks. It's May.
Clickbait.
Understand that it's May, and if
Yeah.
it's not Rodgers, they got to talk about somebody. So I mean, the Jets. Listen, I think ultimately when it's all said and done, you'll definitely have Aaron Rodgers here for 2 years
At
for
least.
sure. And I'm telling you, I think it's going to be 3 years. I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see Aaron Rodgers here. He he wants to play. He wants to play. And listen, first thing you want to win one. Let's win one Super Bowl. But I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission. He wants to roll. He wants to win. He wants to stick it up Green Bay's ass, and
Yep.
he has a legacy that he wants to. Listen, these guys are Mike. These guys are on another level. We can never understand their level. We can never understand their mindset. Their mindset is nothing like we could ever imagine. They're on another plateau. So
Mhm.
their mindset. These guys are egomaniacs. They want to win. You think that he's coming here? He wants to win in the worst way.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
And he's going to do what he's got to do to make this happen. He's going to make sure that the contract is team friendly so that they can sign other guys. He's not going to take all the money. I'm telling you, listen to me. We're coming into a spot where finally the Jets are actually getting a guy that has plenty left in the tank and is going to work with us. And here's the two things, like I told you, I just talked to your dad. Listen, number one, there was two things. All right. He chose the Jets. He chose the Jets.
Yep.
Don't forget that. He chose the Jets. So we're on it right there. Right. Number two, he embraced our history. He talked about VHS tapes where he would look at the Jets back in the day. He remembers Joe Willie. He was honored that Joe Willie gave him an opportunity to wear his number, but he knew there's only one Broadway Joe, and he went to his college number. These are all things that are embrace the fan base. You got the older guys. You guys are young. You're not. That doesn't matter to you. The guys that are older, that's huge to them.
Yeah.
I'm getting all the phone calls, Mike. I'm 63 years old. I'm getting all the calls from all my boys and guys older than me that are telling me this guy embraced our history. They fell in love with this guy. Mm-hmm. People that were hesitant are no longer hesitant. They're like, whoa, this guy is like, they're going like this. They're pinching like he's pinching himself. We're pinching ourselves. And, then you got the other side of it. They got the haters. And, I just talked to one guy. The haters are haters. Listen, we're all haters. We're all haters. All right. We hate, So the Giant fans are really, they'd like to see us go 70 years or 80 years or 100 years. He's only going to play 1 year. Oh, you're going to hear all of this. You know what? Just enjoy the journey. April 24th, 2023 at 4:38. Just enjoy the journey from that point on and watch what happens. Let's see if we can all raise the Lombardi together.
Go ahead, guys.
So I have a question for you, Ed.
Yep.
Has Aaron Rodgers ever been on a roster that's this good, that's this complete? What do you think?
I don't believe so. I think he'll probably say that at some point. I think you'll see him come out and say that. And remember, this roster isn't complete. This roster is far from complete. Mm-hmm. But you're going to see what you see now in May is not what you're going to see come the end of August. When the live bullets hit on September 11th, you're going to see guys that you're going to go, wow, this guy's playing with us. Wow. Like, I'm telling you that's going to happen because they have the salary to do it. They have ways to go about signing other guys. They're not strapped. They're far from strapped. This is why they're waiting with Quinnen for June 1st. He's not getting signed before June 1st because they want that all to go into other numbers. There's a lot that goes on here. And they have ways they could renegotiate guys' contracts that are, they may renegotiate C.J. Mosley. There's guy, they're going to bring other guys in here. Believe me when I tell you that. It's not done. It's just not. So
are there any guys or like any positions in need that you think the Jets might go after in free agency once the new league year starts?
I think you're going to see them sign a linebacker for sure. Mm-hmm. It'll either be Quan Alexander or I think they may sign more than Quan. I think they're going to sign Quan, but there's going to be another linebacker in here. They want to bring in another linebacker in here. I know they do. Yeah. They have in case C.J. Mosley goes by the wayside. They have to have that position solidified. And I know they like the young guys that they drafted, but I'm not a big fan of C.J. Mosley. Other guys are. I don't know if he was hurt last year and we didn't know anything about it, but I felt like he was getting blocked on the second tier. They were going. I just thought that he was making tackles too far. I didn't think he was making behind the line of scrimmage tackles often enough. So especially with the guys we have up front. So I'm skeptical about that position.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
know.
that's my weakness. That's where I would say now other guys now Salah's the first guy to say to you, well, he loves CJ. He loves him.
Yeah.
But I'm just going by the tape. When I'm looking at the tape, I don't see the same guy that I seen a couple of years ago.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, you could tell. I mean, he still is a tackling machine. I think his age is showing. If there is one area that I am a little bit worried about, it's for me, it's safety. I feel like we just signed Clark from the Ravens. I mean, LaMarcus had his days and then he didn't, and then Whitehead had his days and then he didn't. So that
Whitehead will
besides
be
that,
Whitehead will be a much better the second year around. This is his second
I
year
hope
in
so.
the system. He's going to be good, but who you got to look out for is Tony Adams. They're
Yeah,
high on
yeah.
they're high on Tony Adams.
Mm-hmm.
They're high on that undrafted free agent from Illinois that they felt like they made real strides with him later in the year. And what I'm hearing is that they're high on Tony Adams. Like
Yeah.
they're high on him. Michael Naina, just if you follow Michael Naina with Jets X Factor, you follow
Yeah.
Michael just had an article on that yesterday. He brought up some good points. So they also have some youth. They like the linebackers that they drafted a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And you're going to see them get a little more play. So we're worried about that middle. Well, they're not stupid. That's why don't be surprised if you see later on you see a linebacker come in here. That's a known linebacker.
Yeah.
Somebody good like an Anthony Barr. There's going to be you're going to see one of these guys. They're going to sign somebody. I'm telling you, they're going for it. They know where their weakness is, and don't be surprised you see another offensive lineman in here. That would not surprise me.
Hopefully
Another
that guy
name.
Warren.
I'm talking about another name, another big gun. I'm telling you, they're going for it. They are absolutely 1,000,000% going for it. So you're going to see when you see a team that has they know they're there. They know they are. They're going to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Believe me. Joe Douglas is going to do what he's got to do.
I think in the draft, we'll touch on the draft, but Joe Tippmann was definitely absolutely. I wanted him big time. I think that was a huge position of need. I mean, we did sign McGovern, but he could be a starter right away.
Well, listen, you're talking about versatility. See, what Douglas wanted from last year, what he's seen happen to that offensive line, which was devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Every guy that he signed, you see, can play multiple positions.
Yeah,
all of them. I'm talking about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
The only one that can is Mackay. Everybody else can.
Yeah,
you all your guards can play tackle. Mm-hmm. You got guys that can play. Obviously AVT can play tackle. Billy Turner can go anywhere in the line. Yeah. Connor McGovern can go to guard. They can have Tippmann starting. They can have Connor McGovern go over. They can have AVT go over. You still got Dwayne Brown. You got Billy Turner. You got Mekhi Becton. All right. And don't be surprised if you get another guy in here. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Well, what do you think's going to happen? Because, I mean, I know you've probably seen it. Like, Becton's lost like 50 pounds in the offseason because he was big when we first got him. Like,
he just got to put his head down. I'm a Mekhi Becton fan, but
absolutely,
Mekhi needs to stay off of social media. Stop worrying about social media, and like Robert Saleh said to him, go earn the position. You're not given a position. Go earn it. You're a left tackle. If you say I am a left tackle and then delete it, nobody wants to hear that. Right. All right. So you need to just stop with that. That's where you got to mature, and just answer the bell. Because listen, what I love about this regime, and now it's the third year in this regime. Understand something. That's when regimes become somebody.
Yeah.
You get into the third and fourth years, that's when they do it. All right. They got all their guys. So the first, second year is where they try to make some way. And then the third year, they expect results. Mm-hmm. And this is what this team is. And don't be surprised when you see that this is why you see all the competition that he's putting in camp. There's so much competition. Look at the tight end position. Did they need to draft the kid in the 7th round from Old Dominion? All right. But the kid cunts. Listen, they're just we're loaded at tight end, but they're not going to sit on their laurels. They're going to keep bringing guys in. This is why I'm telling you with the linebacker position. Don't. I'm telling you, these guys are going for it, and Douglas is going to Salah on his own, going, hey, what happens if Mosley loses step or he gets hurt or something? That's a main cognizant right there of your defense. You got to have protection. You're going for it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, listen to me. I've been around a long time.
And that's the thing too. Like I
know
feel
what
like
I'm talking about.
I feel like as a Jets fan, like if there's one thing that it might not even seem like it matters that much, but I feel like depending on how Mekhi Becton does this year is going to really change the trajectory of our team. If he can come out and be the rookie left tackle that we drafted him to be, there's no way that Aaron Rodgers
you're going to be a top 5 offensive line. You're going to be a top 5 offensive line. Mekhi Becton is and everybody says the same thing. Like you're saying, Mike, Mekhi Becton, if he plays at a Pro Bowl level where he plays like he did, he could have been in the Pro Bowl the first year. He was a rookie. What they do, they don't play. They usually don't put rookies in there. That's the way it is. Mekhi Becton, if he stays healthy, and he can play at that level. Look at the offensive line. Look at what you're talking about. You know who has to have a big year this year is Laken Tomlinson. He had a shit year last year. All right, he's better than that.
Yep.
But again, let's see what happens. Listen, the ideal thing would be Mekhi at left tackle, Laken on the left side. You got Tippmann, have him at center, start him right off at center.
I think so too.
You go with AVT on a right side, and you see who gets the right tackle position, whether it's Dwayne Brown or it's Max Mitchell or it's Billy Hunter or it's
and that Warren kid.
Oh, the new kid, Cedric Warren from Pitt. So listen, that's going to be, and don't be surprised you see another guy. I told you that. So that's the ideal. They're not gonna leave themselves high and dry like they did last year. Not with Rodgers here. That's not happening. So I'm telling you, there's going to be another guy coming in. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And you're going to see, those are the two things I think you're going to see by August. You're going to see another linebacker, big-time linebacker, and another tackle that I think they're going to sign.
Joe Douglas way.
Exactly.
Yep. That's what you're going to see. So it's exciting. Very exciting time, man.
I can't wait.
So exciting. The stadium's going to be electric, man. Like you young guys have seen some glimpses of some stuff, but what I keep telling all the young guys is, man, listen to me. I've been around when they went to the playoffs in 2002. It was the last home playoff game. That place, here's when you know it's insane. This is what I can tell you as being the leader of the Jet. This is when I know it's nuts, okay? Before the game starts and the stadium is practically full and there's a ruckus going on in a half hour, an hour before the game. When you see that, that's the difference. That's when it becomes just contagious. And it becomes insanity, okay? And that's what I expect to see when opening day comes on Monday Night Football. You're going to see an absolute scene that is going to be so electrifying. They're never going to have to shoot fireworks off. They're not have to do that to warn them to come in. Listen, the people that are in that parking lot that aren't in there at the game, when the game, before the introductions of Rodgers and that, they're either drunk or they don't have a ticket.
Yeah, literally.
Because I'm telling you, anybody that has a pulse and has a ticket for that game, I'm telling you right now, they're going to be in that stadium. I'm telling you, they're going to be in that stadium an hour before. The place is going to be like
rocking.
I'm telling you, and that's what you're going to see. And that's what I'm most excited about because I've witnessed that. I've been a part of it. I've led that stadium in a frenzy, and I'm going to give them all they're going to have. Listen,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna do my part. That's
Yep.
gonna happen. So it's gonna be up to the fans. But I know that the fans are not gonna disappoint. I know the fans are so fired up, and Aaron Rodgers knows it because he talked about it. He's
Yeah.
seen what we did. He's seen what we did in Green Bay. We were there. We like he said, we smoked them. And after the game, there's 20,000 Jet fans. I mean, I led the place. I did like 5-7 chants after the game. We had the place roaring, roaring. We took over Lambeau. So I'm just telling you, that's and he mentioned it on his press conference. I was blessed. I mean, he mentioned me on the press conference. I was blown away. I mean, he didn't need to do that, but he did. And
Crazy. I heard that and I was like, yo,
but
he
he
just
did
shouted out
because
Fireman Ed.
why? Because he knows me. When I got inducted in the Hall of Fame for the Jets in I think it was 2017. If you look it up, Google it. I'm pretty sure we played them the last game of the year or second to last game of the year. We played them. I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Sam Darnold or 18, and it was a great game.
Yeah,
Tremendous
I
game.
remember watching that. Yep.
And I
Sam
was
did
on
well.
the field. I got inducted, and I did the coin toss. And Rodgers shook my hand and says, he shook my hand. He says, man, he goes, congratulations, because you've been around a long time. That's what he said to me. That was nice. Yeah, you didn't have to do that.
That's pretty surreal, man.
And then the other day when I'm in Florida with my wife, and all of a sudden we're watching it like all of the Jet fans just sitting there watching it. And all of a sudden I hear him say my name. I mean, that's humbling, bro. That's an honor. I mean, there's so many great Jet fans. I mean, I was honored. I was humbled and honored by it. And, but, listen, he knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where it's going. He knows who's going to rock.
He knows how good we are.
House. He knows who's going to rock that house.
I can't wait. Guess
Yep.
what you got? What you got, Gas? Get
We
me
got
hype.
gas.
Get me hype.
So week 1, Monday Night Football against Buffalo. The lights are on. That offense trots onto the field for the first time with Rodgers. I just think there's going to be more energy in this stadium than, Mikey, we've probably ever seen in our lifetime.
They call it the air conditioner, bro.
The world's largest air conditioning unit is going to be rocking.
Yeah.
The stadium's I got news for you. The stadium's going to be rocking, like I told you just before. The stadium's going to be rocking well before that. And when it's going to be rocking before that, there'll be chants before that, before they come out of the tunnel, because when they announce his name out of that tunnel,
it's going to be loud.
It's going to be, you're going to have chills. Everybody will have chills through their bones. And then we're going to have the national anthem, and we're going to honor the brothers.
The Jets are going to fly over, no doubt.
We're going to honor the brothers that died that day, 22 years ago.
Yep.
And it'll be emotional. And then we'll put it in our hearts, and we'll start rolling. Let's go. Let's go. In a place, like you said, listen, it's going to be nuts. Yep. Absolutely insanity. Insanity. It's going to be insanity. And we're going to beat Buffalo. We're going to roll. Listen, the Jet fans have been starving. The Jets fans have been in the desert. I've said this, and it's the truth. The Jet fans have been waiting for the water for a long, long time. And number 8 has the water. Yeah. Number 8 has the water.
Just waiting for the rain in the desert.
You know what? The fans are gonna come get some water, man. The fans are thirsty. The fans are thirsty, man. They can't wait. And it's not going to take much. The fans are going to be out of their minds. It's not going to – you don't need fireworks. You don't need none of that bullshit. It's going to be insanity because the passion is going to come through the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Mario. I have a question too.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to backtrack a little bit, but if during our show before we signed Rodgers, I'm not going to lie, I wanted Lamar. I was all in on Lamar. Now,
I don't want any part of Lamar. First off, I don't like a running quarterback. That's number one. I don't like any part of running quarterback. So that run pair, that whole design that they have with Josh Allen and Lamar and Danny Dimes, and I mean, listen, that's a disaster on the way to happen because these guys don't last.
Yeah.
Lamar has not played the last 2 seasons, a full season, because it's starting to get to him. You gotta listen, bro. You want to win in this league? It's a proven fact. You gotta throw the ball from the pocket. You can ad lib and run. There's a difference. You can ad lib and run, but you have designer run plays. You Buffalo is out of their minds. I hope they keep doing it. I hope they keep doing it because eventually that kid's not going to last. And he even said it this year for the first time. He said it. He says, "I gotta adjust my game." You know what he means by that?
Of course.
How many hits is he going to take?
Right.
He's not going to be on the field, and the Buffalo Bill fans are going to go off the wall. One of my best buddies that I was a fireman with up at Harlem. I golf with him. I'll be with him in Myrtle Beach on Sunday. He says it all the time. He's just waiting when he sees him fake and then run on a designer sweep. He's like, "Oh my God!" Yeah, he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Mm-hmm. You can't listen. Lamar can only be successful if Lamar throws from the pocket. This is why when the playoffs come, they shut him down. They shut him down. Look at the kid from Philly. That kid runs, but what did he do in the Super Bowl?
They ran the ball.
He threw like hell. He threw like hell, and he threw well. They lost despite him. He didn't lose the game for them. Their defensive line lost the game for them.
I know. I think with Lamar too, like I feel like for me, I saw him, even though he did get hurt, I will give you that. I feel like even the game that when they played us at home, he was making throws, man, and he looked good.
He made some great throws.
And I agree with you. Like, listen, the health can be a factor. I just felt like for longevity purposes and a guy who is a franchise, he was the guy to get. Now,
I wanted? I wanted Carr.
That was my next question. When all that stuff, because we did too.
I wanted David Carr.
Yeah,
I wanted David Carr because he's younger.
Derek Carr,
younger.
Yeah.
Well, understand something. First off, I just want to make this clear. Aaron, if you gave me the choice of all of them, of course I was going to take Aaron Rodgers. But I didn't think Aaron Rodgers was committed.
I didn't think so. I think that was the problem.
And I didn't think we could get him for what we got him for. Mm-hmm. I think ultimately when it all comes down to it and we wind up giving a 2 and a 1 for him, I think ultimately we're going to laugh and go, "Wow, that was worth every penny." But that's yet to be determined. We're going to find that out. Okay. Yeah. But David Carr is an excellent quarterback, but the Jets were not committed to him. Mm-hmm. They were committed. This is the things we don't know, Mike. We're not privy to what's going on behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
So we can only say what we do, like a fan, number one fan, whatever you want to call me. I only know so much. I know certain things that maybe some fans don't, but I don't know everything. And I'm just telling you that for me, it was David Carr 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, because I didn't know his commitment. There was a lot of things. After knowing what I know now, we got the guy we should have gotten all along. I mean, I'm more than content, and he's going to be here for more than 1 year. Believe me. Don't believe that bullshit. Because that bullshit's out the window. He's pretty much said it without saying it. He doesn't have to say it. He doesn't owe the media to say, "Oh, I'm going to be here for 2 or 3 years." He doesn't need to say that.
Yeah.
He don't.
We just got to be grateful.
He says, "Let's see what happens this year." And in the meantime, he's talked to the Jets. And
I think what was interesting about Derek Carr, though, I felt like that was a Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. Like, I think they wanted him, but I think Woody stepped in. And again, what do I know? But I think Woody definitely took it over the edge and was like, "We need to get Aaron Rodgers." What are you thinking?
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
No, I think they all wanted Rodgers to begin with, and that's why they wouldn't commit to Derek Carr. The Derek Carr. They wouldn't commit to him because they knew what was out there. And do you think for 1 minute, now that'll never come out. Remember, it'll never come out. Now, do you think that Matt LaFleur and Robert Saleh didn't talk, although they'll never say they did? You think that they're best friends? Mm-hmm. You think that Robert Saleh didn't say, "We got a shot at Rodgers"? And I'm telling you that was already They already knew they had a definite shot at him. All it was what was it gonna cost? And they weren't willing to pay. You know, if Green Bay could have got 3 1s, they would have. They would have.
Now, if
And they knew they couldn't.
if he would have been there, let's say he was actually there for a year. Say he only 2 years max, 1 year, or let's just say 1 year max. Would you have made that move to get Rodgers?
No.
No, that was the problem. That I think we argued that like every
No.
show before he
No.
got signed was
No.
if he's
If he
there for
told
a
you
year,
if he
no
was
way.
only coming 1 year, would I done it? No, I would have went after Derek Carr fiercely.
That's what we were
And
saying.
I think you would have gotten him.
Yeah, me too. But you know what though? I'm happy because
No.
that was our one issue was is he going to play 1 year? No, because I just felt like it was going to set us back. But now he loves New York. The New Yorkers love him. He went to the Garden for the Rangers game, the Garden for the Knicks game. He's staying more than a year. I'm
Listen,
happy.
and it's
I'm
not
good.
only that, Mike. It's not only that he sees what we see. He sees this team. He sees the young nucleus. He knows he can make an effect. He knows he can do something with these guys. He knows he can mold them. You see some of the pictures when you see them holding the shoulders of Garrett Wilson and talking side by side to Breece Hall. You know what's going on in those conversations? Are you kidding me?
It's grinding.
This guy's one of the greatest. This guy's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Of all time. And he's got plenty left. Listen, it was the best thing. We're blessed. Let's go this year. We can't. It doesn't matter because no matter what you do, if you just say you locked him in, no, it's 3 years. It doesn't matter. If he wants to walk away, he's going to go. Yeah. It's not going to matter. Listen, what you want to do is you wanted to see the bonding of a superstar come in here, committed, and everything he said is everything you could possibly want. There's not one thing that he said that you couldn't be like, oh shit. No, everything he's done, you've been like, when he says he's pinching himself, what more? You gotta be a lunatic when you see that. He's pinching himself. Oh my God. Like that's everything that you could want as a fan. So now we're gonna let it all play out. It's all gonna play out. This is why I tell you, enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. And let's see where it goes. We win a world championship this year. We're gonna worry about the following year and the year after that. Because I'll tell you,
I'm happy. I'm good.
My mindset's going to be your mindset. My mindset's going to be totally different. Now, after we party our balls off, and June comes around, and May and June comes around after we're recovered and we're the world champions, then we'll talk about it. Then we'll talk about the following year. We don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. We want to win this year.
Always.
Remember, Buffalo was supposed to win the last 2 years. We're supposed to win the last 2 years. Remember that. They were supposed to win the last 2 years. Are we forgetting? Who was the favorite last year?
It was them and the Chiefs.
The Buffalo Bills were the favorite to win the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah. I personally think they take a step back. I think the Bills take a step back.
You know why? Because they're questioning themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions going on in Buffalo. Okay.
I know.
They're questioning the coach.
Yeah.
They're questioning the coach. The defensive coordinator stepped away.
He stepped away for a year.
He stepped away. All right. They lost their offensive coordinator the year before. Okay. So listen, there's a lot going on. Stephon Diggs is not happy there. He's showing he's a malcontent to begin with.
There's a lot of holes on that team. I don't think people realize that.
They lost guys.
The code with them.
They lost a lot of guys. Listen, right now is a perfect time for us to play them the opening day and put the negativity in them because remember, their year ended in a bad way. They ended at home, losing to Cincinnati. Cincinnati went in there and beat their ass. And nobody thought that. I don't want to hear it. Nobody thought that they were going to get manhandled by the Cincinnati Bengals in Buffalo. There's no way. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Somebody says that now, I'll say, you're full of shit. Okay, you're so full of shit because that's not the case. You were playing in Buffalo. Buffalo was supposed to win that game, okay? And Joe Burrow's a hell of a player, but come on. And now we're going to get them coming off of that loss. this all comes into play. Believe me when I tell you this. And our fan base is now all of a sudden realizing at one point we were looking at Buffalo. Ooh, the big bad Buffalo Bills. Well, they came into the Meadowlands last year with Zach Wilson. And in the fourth quarter, we ran it down their fucking throat. Okay, and won the game. And hurt him and beat him up in the game. All right. We should have won the game up in Buffalo. Okay. We were right there to win that game too. Until Milano leveled
Destroyed Mike White.
And all right, but listen, they have doubt in their hearts. I'm telling you, they have doubt in their hearts.
Agreed, 100%.
And this is where the fan base needs to come in like a bunch of praised dogs and cause havoc that night. And what better? It's on 9/11. It's a solemn day. There's going to be a lot of emotion in the stadium. It's going to be through the roof, man. You couldn't ask for more, really. And we beat them that night, and you want to beat their ass. You want to beat their ass because you put doubt in their minds. You beat their ass. You put doubt in their minds.
Yep.
You run it down their throat. Run it down their throat. Don't even let him on the field. Run it down the throat. Run it down the throat. Yep. And remember, you still got the assassin behind the center now. Now you got an assassin behind center. That guy doesn't get flustered.
Mm-hmm. Nuh-uh. Not on Monday night. No.
He ain't getting flustered anytime. You talk to anybody in that black and blue division. I just golfed with a kid down in Fort Myers that was a Minnesota Viking fan. And this kid said to me, he goes, you know what's tremendous about Aaron Rodgers? He goes, coming from a fan that watches him year in and year out in our division, he goes, no matter what your lead is, when you see him come on the field, you go, here we go.
Like Brady.
Like we did with Brady. Like we did with Brady. It's the same thing. Same thing. So, it's exciting, bro. Very exciting.
Yes, you got something?
Yeah, I just have one last question. One thing I wanted to get your opinion on. So we have this situation now where Zach Wilson's got a year or two left on his rookie deal?
About 2, yeah.
So we're hoping Rodgers is here for maybe 3, maybe 4 years, at least 2. So how do you see this playing out with Zach Wilson and Rodgers? I know Zach Wilson's favorite quarterback growing up was Aaron Rodgers. And, when Rodgers was asked about it.
I don't see Zach being here in New York. I think it'll be great for Zach for this year to get all the experience you can from Aaron Rodgers. But do I think that he's going to be here? I don't know. That book is still not written now.
Yeah. They won't pick up that 5th-year contract.
Do I think that Zach Wilson's going to be the backup quarterback this year? No, I don't. I think Tim Boyle is going to be the backup quarterback. I think they brought him in for a reason. Mm-hmm. They brought him in because what's his face? Nathaniel Hackett is very comfortable with him.
Yep.
He likes that kid. And Rodgers likes him. Rodgers hangs out with him. He was with Rodgers at the Ranger game.
Yes, he was.
But nobody was watching that. They were watching him and Alan Lazard, but he was right there with them. So listen, they're going to give, this is going to be like a red shirt year for Zach Wilson. This is a red shirt year. And then next year is his 4th year. Are they going to pick up a 5th-year option on him? Absolutely not. But let's see what happens. We're a year away from any decision on Zach Wilson. Yeah. We have a whole year yet. This time next year, we'll talk a little more about Zach and what his future is. His future he may be traded next year. I don't know. I can't answer that. That book is not written right now. Mm-hmm. That book's that book hasn't been opened. There's too much is gonna go on right now. He said he's got to take a back seat. You're going to see Zach Wilson in the preseason game against the Cleveland Browns in Canton, Ohio. I'll be there for Joe Klecko and Revis. All right, I got all my I got everything. Let's go. And so you'll see Zach play that day, and you're going to see what his confidence level is as it goes along. But do I believe that Zach is going to be if you said to me, is he going to be the backup quarterback for this team? I would say no. I would say no. Especially in the beginning of the year. I could see him. He's going to be, on the inactive. You're going to see Tim Boyle be the backup quarterback, in my opinion.
Mhm.
That's
Now,
my opinion.
yeah, no, I kind of agree with you on that. Again, I just don't unless something happens where I'm not even going to project it, but if something happens and he has to get thrown in, maybe. But I want to talk about the draft real quick.
Yeah.
So with that 15th pick, because we were watching it together, I wanted Jackson Smith and Jigba. That was the guy that I wanted. And
Who'd you
then
want?
bam, huh?
Who'd you want?
Jackson Smith and Jigba, the receiver from Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Played with Garrett. That's who he was there. I thought it was set in stone. I was like, yep, that's it. But Will McDonald, what do you think of that pick? I'm actually a fan of it. I like it a lot.
Well, I thought that they would go offensive line if it was feasible, which obviously Belichick did his
Screwed us.
usual. That's why he's a clam-faced chowderhead that belongs in New England. That mother. I thought that they would go offensive or defensive line, and they did. So they went with the kid. That's not surprising. Joe Douglas, that's what he does. He's going to go with the meat and potatoes. That's what he's going to do. I mean, it's just that simple. They had him rated. That was their player on the board. I'm sure that they liked the kid from Georgia, the tackle. And when the tackle went off, they just went, you know what? Let's see if the phone rings. If it don't, we're taking. We like this kid. They like the kid from Iowa State, and he's a freak. I mean, he's an outright freak. Yeah. Now, could I see him? I think you're going to see him. I think you're going to see him as a hybrid. You're going to see him all over the place. They're going to play that kid.
The rover.
They're going to rove that kid. That kid's going to go all over the place because he's got that athletic ability. I could see them lining up Hoff, and I could see them going with Hoff and Lawson on the outside, and this kid just coming off the linebacker, stand-up linebacker. I could see it. They're going to have stunts for him. Mm-hmm. Remember, you still got Jermaine Johnson there. I mean, we are loaded. And now we signed the two monsters from Seattle, the two tackles. Al Wood and what's the other kid we signed? The other tackle we signed just before him, a couple weeks before. He's a monster.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. We did get Al Woods and then another guy from Seattle.
What's his name?
I know. I can't think of it either.
Yeah. They're two monsters. That was a position. When you talk about our defense, you talk about the middle of the defense. You talk about the tackle. You talk about the middle linebacker. You talk about the safety. That's what you talk about with our defense. Mm-hmm. That's where you would say the weakness because the outsides are ridiculous and the corners and all of that. We got so much speed. But now they've addressed that. And that's why I tell you they're not done. But that kid's going to be a stud, McDonald. There's no question about it, Will. And, obviously Joe Tippmann is going to be an impact player. The kid I think is going to make an immediate impact is that running back from Pittsburgh. He's going to play.
Anaconda, yeah,
you're going to see him play. He's going to play. You're going to watch. He's going to play. They're going to have a three-headed monster. They're going to have Brees because they're going to bring Brees back easy. They're not going to go crazy with Brees, not early. And they'll have Michael Carter. Expect him to have a monster back. He's going to come back with a vengeance this year. Because remember what I said to you before, competition is tremendous in positions. And there's another position that's a lot of competition there, along with Bam. All right. You got Bam Knight. You got a four-headed monster there. There's only so many carries you can give guys. Yep. So it's going to be exciting, but I think that kid's he's got some breakaway speed. You're going to see them line him up in spots where he can make a difference. He's a one cut back. That's what he is. They like the one cut backs that just take it to the house. Michael Carter's not that guy. The other three guys are. So, Bam Knight can do it too. Yeah. He's another guy.
Especially when he filled in. I mean, he was. Yeah,
it's exciting. And the kid from Pittsburgh, the tackle, remember he got hurt. He got busted up. He was projected to be a first or second rounder until he got busted up.
He's a Jersey guy.
He's a Patterson boy. Love it. and the other kids from Brooklyn.
Yep.
Love it. They're coming home. Coming home.
They're
To the
coming
hood.
home.
Let's go. We'll welcome you, Brooklyn, Patterson. We come from everywhere. Come from everywhere. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Well, yes, you got anything? I'm good.
Me too.
I asked everything I had to.
Let me tell you
Fireman Ed,
something.
do you have any other thoughts?
Well, I'm going to just tell you something. Like I said to you before, there's a couple of things that I want you to look out for. They're going to sign a linebacker.
Okay.
They're going to sign another, I believe, tackle. Somebody known, I think. Somebody known. I think those two positions, you're going to see somebody known when it's all said and done. You're going to see those two positions, there's going to be known guys coming in here. And remember, they all want to play with Aaron Rodgers. All of them. They all want to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
So the world is our oyster right now. And enjoy the journey. Have fun. If you can get to the games, get to them. No, it's not easy, especially for young guys. But I'm just going to tell you something. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do my part. And I believe when it's all said and done, we're going to be in Vegas. We're going to go there for a regular season game. And then they better clean that place up because we're coming back for the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh. We're going to go to a bunch of games. I know I'm going.
We're coming back for the Super Bowl. Let's go.
We're ready.
Go.
Uh-huh.
All the best to your father. You know I love him. All right. I love my man Mikey. There's nobody better. Yeah. We go back a long, long time. It was good to see him. And I wish you guys the best. And, I'll always come on. You give me a shout out, I'll be back on. We'll talk some Jet football. Some New York football Jets.
Yep. And we thank you, man. And I appreciate what you did for my pops. Thanks again. Always great having you on.
You're a great family. Great family. That's why you're such a good kid. And great to see you, kid. All the best to you.
Likewise. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate
Thanks a lot, Ed.
Go Jets.
Go Jets.
Let's go. Come on, bro. Yes, sir.